Tarsus kind of like holds up a hand to stop you guys, kind of like waits for a moment, and peers out, sees who's around, and then motions you forward and goes ahead. I want everyone to roll initiative.
Oh.
Oh,
And that was plus dexterity bonus, or...
Yeah.
correct.
Oh,
So
plus I have a
rolled
spot that says
4,
initiative.
so I think I'm going last.
I rolled a 20, an unnatural 20.
It's probably because I was like, okay, I was supposed to move my feet like this, and I'm doing the like heel to toe. Like, I'm so focused on that I'm just like, wait, what? Initiative.
I rolled a 15.
Tarsus, like she gets up to the door and starts kind of analyzing it. She curses a little bit under her breath, and she's like, of course they'd added more security since I was last here. Won't this be fun?
And we're like, yay!
Well, I'm like, wait, last here?
She mentioned that before, because she's like, oh, I know all the
Okay.
hours and stuff.
She mentioned that she checked it out.
Yeah, she scoped the place out.
Oh, right.
She's also seen the body before, like she mentioned
Oh,
that previously.
right.
That's why she needs the whole poison stone.
Well, excuse me for starting to be suspicious when I don't need to be.
Haven't they just explained this like 10 minutes ago, Ben?
Or 2-3 weeks ago. One of those. She notices that and kind of like motions the rest of you over and points, well, I'd say you're probably not all there yet, so she'll probably have to wait until you get there. So yeah, I guess that's her turn. It is now Tlawin's turn.
Okay, should I like roll search? Is that a free action?
Yeah, I'm just kind of like slowing this down to see, you know, if you can
Hustle over in time before things may or may not happen.
So it might not be exactly combat, but it's kind of like I'd say I'm saying loosely you can take like an action and a check each turn, and you know moving up to the door would be your action this turn.
Okay, so my check will be I roll perception,
Okay.
which isn't exactly like I don't have a great perception, but I mean, I rolled a 5.
You're definitely on some ground.
Yeah, you look at the door. It looks like a door. You kind of wonder what's the holdup. Like, why can't you go in? Yeah. Then it's Bly's turn.
I assume she's kept up, unlike us.
I mean, you've all kind of like kept up. You were
Oh, okay.
I mean, kind of like, you know, Tarsus kind of stopped you and was looking around for the right moment, and then she said go, and you're just all going now. The initiative kind of reflects how fast you responded to that, I suppose, but you're still all in, like, the same area.
Oh. Wait, were we actually supposed to, like, go in?
I apparently did not explain this well enough. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't think I got it. I'm sorry.
Okay, so you're outside this preservation room, the one that Tarsus says that the body is in.
Right.
Unlike the others, which is strange, it is locked. So, like, you were not wanting to just, you know, try to pick the lock in broad daylight with all the attendants around.
Yeah,
Tarsus
exactly.
waited, and, like, you're kind of all hiding behind it and waiting for the people to go past. And then she said go, so now you're just trying to unlock it and get in before the next attendant comes by.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I get it now. Okay.
Sorry, I need to remember, like, things that are clear in my head might not necessarily be clear to everyone else. I need to actually
Especially
explain.
since we're doing this verbally. So
Yeah.
not
Okay.
all of our imaginations are imagining the same imagines.
But Skara is with them, not still ignoring everything.
As far as you know, we'll see when we get to my turn what I do.
Okay.
Why? I suggest you attempt to pick the lock. I whispered, being all like, "'Cause I ain't gonna do it."
Your action is still kind of like to actually get up to that point, but you can do some kind of check, like a perception or.
I rolled a 9 for perception.
Well, you can see that there's no one around yet, but you don't notice much else. Like, you don't particularly look at the lock or something. You just are kind of like looking around, making sure that no one has seen you. Okay, then it's Pars's turn. He kind of like gets up the door and is kind of like, I can't believe that. What am I doing? What am I doing here? Why am I here? And that's his turn. Now it's Scar's turn.
So like I said, I didn't really want to be part of the unlocking, so I'm actually gonna stay there in the
Okay.
middle of the hallway.
Okay.
Though I will also roll a perception check. I figure I can be the person who's like, in case any guards come up, they'll see me first because I'm like this big, well, not big, this small, obvious dwarf person. So perhaps I can even provide as a distraction.
Well, you're kind of like behind the preservation room. You're kind of like out in this field or open courtyard area, and you're not in immediate view. I mean, someone could certainly walk around behind the preservation rooms and see you, but you're not along like the main avenue, so you're not like right in sight.
Okay, well, I'll continue standing where I'm standing,
Okay.
and I will roll a perception check just to be like, do I see anything? What did I do? Right, I have to subtract 1 from this. I rolled an 11.
Okay. Similar to Bly, you notice no one's around right now. It seems fairly quiet. Yeah.
Okay, well, I will remain standing here and not look as you guys do bad things, bad illegal things.
Okay, so it's Tarsus's turn again. And like first thing she does, she says like well, they've put a trap on this door, and I'm not completely sure what it does, but when we open it, our cover will probably be blown. I'm not sure. So she's going to go ahead and try to disarm that first. She fumbles with her tools and drops them somehow.
Did she roll a 1?
No, but she rolled very poorly.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of like curses quietly and picks them back up and like holds them out for anyone else to try. That's going to be her turn.
So that's me then, right?
Yep.
So would investigation be the role to try to investigate the trap?
I suppose you could use investigation since it's like something that you already know is there. You're just trying to find it. But I'd say you could also use perception.
Okay, well, I'm going to roll investigation
Okay.
on the trap. Oh, so that's an 18.
Okay. You can see what she's pointing at. You notice it's kind of like it has like a sheen to it, like what you associate with magic, but it also has like a mechanical component. So you see how you could try to disarm it, I suppose. It's like this.
Or could show somebody else who's better at the actual disarming.
I'd say if you tell someone about it, you could give them advantage on perception to, or investigation to see it. But, yeah, like it's kind of this wire that you can see that kind of crosses the door.
Okay.
So if the door opens, it will trigger it.
What would I have to roll to try to disarm it myself?
I should have a character sheet in front of me.
I mean, would that just be dexterity, or is there a skill?
That's what I'm checking right now. Man, it feels like lockpicking should be a skill of its own. I feel like it was in a previous version, maybe, but
I think so.
Probably. They seem to have cut down on the skills a lot.
yeah. I think it would just be dexterity.
I'll
That's
just roll
what I would call
dexterity.
it.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I'll just.
it's not really sleight of hand.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I rolled an 8, so.
Does it get a bonus from his investigation before?
I guess since you rolled pretty well in investigation, so you kind of figured out how it works, you could get advantage. And I assume that you, like, took one of the tools that Tarsus was.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I didn't say so, but that was the idea.
Okay, yeah.
Or maybe I just, like, go batting the wire, being like, bad wire.
No.
Okay, so I guess roll again and see if it's higher.
Okay. Wait, that landed on the edge. No, it is not.
Okay, well, you don't manage to actually, like, trigger it. It's a bit of a close call, but you don't manage to disarm it either.
Oh, okay. Can I, like, be pointing at it for the next person?
Yeah,
Or is...
sure.
Okay. I'm pointing at it. Like,
Being like,
guys,
trap!
wire!
It's now Bly's turn.
Bly, look at the wire. It's a wire. It's a bad wire. We don't like this wire.
I see the wire.
If you're confused about this wire, I can sing about it.
No, that's not necessary.
Tarsus is like, don't.
Can I just take the tool from Ben and try myself to disarm it?
Yes.
And you said that was dexterity, right?
Mm-hmm.
18.
Okay.
You're
You
like, I'm fine.
you manage to, like, very carefully. I really have no idea about traps. Like, kind of lift the wire off of its bearings and kind of, like, move it harmlessly to the side so that it will not actually trigger when you go through the door.
Yay.
Yay!
Woo!
Yay.
And you just made this a whole lot easier on yourself. Okay. Parse spends his turn, like, nervously looking around, checking to make
Just, like,
sure.
cowering.
Yeah, checking to make sure that no one has spotted them yet. And Skara, I assume you just stay there for your turn.
I will also roll a check just because,
Okay.
like, to see if anyone's, if we're in apparent danger. And I rolled a 17.
You notice that it's a very nice day out. Like, breeze is kind of like going through the trees. You do, like, it does sink in that this is a very nice part of town. You've never been anywhere this fancy before. Like,
This
you've
funeral home sure is fancy.
like you've been to when you were kind of like meeting up with Tlaloin's parents and like negotiating the details of like going to the city of Argent. Like even their place wasn't this nice. Anyway,
I'm like, man, you could just like, how much does it cost to rent out a place here at the cemetery? Slash.
Does anyone live here while they're, actually living?
I'm like, their rooms sure must like become free, like quick turnaround.
there is like a main building in this compound where kind of like the more clerical stuff gets done. Anyway, it is now Tarsus's turn again, and making up for last time, she like picks that lock real quick. She got a nat 20.
Wow, she's like, I am an expert lock picker.
Yeah, she
She
just kind of like is exasperated at herself for failing the last time to disarm the trap. So
that gave her the motivation to disarm the lock so awesomely.
Also, the fact that I threatened to sing a song that would help her.
yeah, she's like, we
oh,
need to
God.
get in here quick. Lock kind of goes snick, and the door swings open, and you can all go inside now.
Okay.
I will say you managed to pass that, so you're not in turn order anymore. You can all kind of like get inside, at least those who want to, and close the door behind you, and you're fine now.
Yay.
But man, it was going to get interesting if you didn't disarm that trap.
Oh, are you disappointed that we did?
No, I thought it would be interesting either way.
Because I could undisarm it if you want.
Be like, just put the wire back on.
Like, oh yeah, we have to put the door exactly like how we found it, and then put it back on. You all are in this room. It's fairly small, but still relatively nice. It kind of like clean lines, meant for a nice place to mourn, I suppose. There's kind of a raised slab in the middle of the room with a few chairs on either side, and then a ledge at the back, which would normally have flowers or trinkets that people would want the deceased to be buried with, but it's empty. And in the middle of the slab, there's a body of a large-framed man with full beard, bald head, and rich dark skin, and he's also dressed very richly in green and brown. And the style is slightly unusual. It's a tunic crossed diagonally over the chest, and there's an embroidered sash also over the chest. It actually has words in another language. Bless you.
Oh, is it a language any of us will be able to read?
Bly actually recognizes it. It's actually in Utharis. I believe you chose to pick that language as one of your languages. The language of the Hanfash.
Yeah.
What does it say? I hope it says like Miss wherever we are right now. 2017.
Just like a sash that says Miss AraMyth. No, it does not say that. Bly can see that it just simply says, like, life, honor, love.
Does Bly tell us that it says that? Or
I don't know. Does Bly tell you or not?
I do.
You're
Okay.
like, it's a life, honor, and love.
Oh,
Sometimes when my brain does the like automatic foreign language thing, it just like is part of my brain conception. So you know what I mean? I don't know if you guys know what I mean.
What you mean?
I think so.
Maybe like, maybe one of you guys just, you just kind of voice out loud, wondering what it means. And I just step in and I'm like, this is what it says. Because I can read it.
So could I use history to see if there's any like historical significance that I'd recognize to this, or?
I just want to add in one more detail, and
Oh,
then you can do all
sure.
the checks that you want.
Sure.
You also notice that even under the preservation spell, like a white rot has started to set in, starting from his hand.
Ew.
I think I'm going to use Arcana before I use anything else. I'm going to be like, guys, I'm going to use my magic skills to see if there's magic here.
It should be great.
And letting everyone know that I've decided to come like to the doorway, but I won't pass the threshold.
Are you even looking in?
I'm like I do that thing where I'm like, oh, that's interesting, and I'm like, no, I must look away.
Tarsus closed the door behind you.
Oh.
You still don't want the attendants knowing that there are people in the preservation room.
Then I suppose I came in, but I'm just like not.
You're just kind of standing in the corner, like staring up at the ceiling.
Oh, sure.
You're not really here.
It's like it must have been legal for me to come in. The door was unlocked when I came here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I only rolled a.
Oh no, my lawful, quote unquote lawful.
I only rolled a 10. I only rolled a 10 in Arcana. Do I notice anything?
Nothing in particular. I'd say you might have to roll more of an investigation check to see if he has any magic items. I don't know. You haven't really heard of anything magic doing this.
And I did want to use history to see if I recognize anything significant related to either the motto or like the colors or his outfit. Yeah, all this and all the items. So I'm going to do history, and then I'm going to be, and I only managed an 11. I'm really good at these skills. I'm just rolling bad.
Weren't you rolling really awesomely last time?
Yes.
Yeah, it's balancing out. You were rolling really well last time.
He was. Mm-hmm.
You try to think back. Most of your history lessons have been just, through the written word. So nothing particularly stands out visually to you.
Okay, so like I remember like some history trivia facts that are completely irrelevant to the situation.
Yeah.
I can tell you the date of a battle that happened exactly 632 years ago and ended in the transfer of 1 acre of land.
It was the bloodiest battle of our history.
Yay!
And then the acre of land flooded.
Oh.
Yay! I do an inspection check of the ceiling. I don't know why. Oh, this was really investigation. I rolled a 3.
Oh.
How do I even respond to that? Like, what
I'm
flavor
like,
text do I give
trying-
to you?
I feel like I'm trying to find anything interesting to divert my attention from this like thing that isn't legal, and it's very hard.
Like, you try
Oh.
to focus on the ceiling, but your gaze keeps drifting over to the body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll investigate the body.
Does Bly want to make any checks?
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm rolling everything.
That's okay. Can I do insight on the body?
I'd say insight is more like if you're talking to a live person and you're trying to figure out their motivations. Like, what are you trying to look for exactly?
She wants to beat the truth out of this dead person.
Can I do insight on Taurus? Or is that not really?
Yeah, maybe to see like how she's feeling at this moment, because we
Yeah,
don't really know.
what's her reaction?
Yeah, okay, I'll do insight on Taurus.
I wanna know.
17.
17. Okay. So you can see, like, she's a little anxious right now. I mean, you're all gathered in a room with a body which is starting to rot, and there are people outside, and you're not quite sure of, like, the consequences of what would happen if you're caught. She seems a little nervous and a little impatient, like, looking over to Parse and kind of... You can see, like, on her face, she's kind of thinking, like, get on with it. And Parse is just kind of, like, standing there still. Like,
He's just like, oh my god.
yeah.
He's like a real live dead body.
Hey, does anyone have medicine that could maybe identify... Well, that's not how I phrase it. I say, hey, does anybody know stuff about disease and things? Because we could see if that white rot thing looks familiar to anyone, if anyone actually knows anything about that, which I do not.
I'm actually trained in medicine.
And, although, when you say that, Parse kind of, like, snaps out of it and fumbles for his stone and, like, drops it and picks it back up. And holds it out to someone, just kind of like, does anyone else want to put it against the body?
I can do that if nobody else volunteers.
Tarsus kind of like sighs and snatches it and like presses it to like directly into the white rot on this guy's hand. And the stone does immediately change color, shift color. Like before, if you remember, it was a midnight blue.
Oh my god, it's like a mood ring.
Except with poison.
Yay!
Lots of fun for the whole family.
That would be more useful.
And it
Buy it for your kids.
So it immediately like lightens up and shifts color, changing more into like a lavender with streaks of sky blue.
I like this color.
Now, if only I could replicate it. Ah, I know. I just have to find poison and dip this rock into it again.
And that was how Tlawin turned evil.
So, does he say anything about this, or is he just kind of like still looking away because he's like, dead body?
Well, now like he's kind of focusing in on his stone, and he is kind of like confused and like trying to decipher it now.
Okay. Cool. I continue staring at the ceiling.
Okay.
And I'm like overhearing all this, and I'm like, man, I'm trained in medicine. No, you must resist.
Hey, Bly, do you know medicine stuff? You're smart and stuff. Do you want to see if you know any medicine stuff about this? Bly? Poke?
Don't. Oh, that's it.
And I'm just like, oh man, don't say anything. And I'm like, oh man.
You just like start to sweat a little bit.
I
staring
find
at
myself like slowly walking backwards closer to you
I guess I'll do an investigation while this is happening. Once I stop poking Bly.
What are you looking for?
Oh, on the body. I was looking to see if there's any items or clues that might be more significant than just like, woo, finery.
Okay.
So that's an 18.
Okay. You notice a couple things. One, the body on the hand that has the rot starting to spread from it. You notice a ring that's has a gem in it that's cracked. And then
I like rings.
Okay, so in addition to the ring, you also notice that he's wearing a necklace that still has like a faint magic sheen to it.
Steal it. I don't shout this in character. I shout this as me, Anna.
Right. Well, I like the necklace and ring. I like necklaces and rings because I like wearing that's pretty things like those.
What if they cause the poison, Ben?
I was about to say I'm a little bit wary, however, about wearing rings on hands that have white rot on them.
Okay.
Although I'm very unwise, so maybe I'm actually not wary about this.
There's like certain common sense things our characters just have to realize at some point. Otherwise, we'd just be dead already.
Right.
Though I feel like you weren't in a very dangerous locale growing up.
Before I was adopted.
Well, different dangers.
True.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, so I point those out to the people, and I'm like, this ring definitely is magic.
You didn't actually see any magic from the ring.
Wasn't it just a necklace?
Oh, sorry. And I'm like, this necklace is definitely magic.
And this ring is weird, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tarsus kind of takes that in and then hands the stone back to Parse. And, like, he kind of looks at the stone. Well, it's definitely poison.
Yay.
I haven't actually seen quite this color before, but
it was poison through potato leaves. No.
But I can tell, like, since it's similar to some of the other colors that come up in the stone, the properties, it was a contact poison. It killed slowly, and it didn't show a trace until several days after death.
I'm becoming more suspicious of this necklace and possibly ring.
Yeah, so you sort of backed up right against the body, right? Was that what happened?
Anna, he's asking you, I think. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I was like, wait, who? Yeah, I've been slowly inching closer, and I'm probably close enough now that I'm just like part of the group dynamic.
Okay. Tlawin just gently puts his hands on your shoulders and nudges you to turn around.
And I'm like, yes. Slowly turning around.
This is the ring and this is the necklace. Oh yeah, and this is the dead body.
And?
I don't know. Do you know things?
I'm like, I do happen to be trained in medicine, I suppose I could see what my seeing eyes can tell just from looking at it.
And from the description that Parse, is that the name?
Yeah.
The description that Parse gave.
Okay, so I Parse. I rolled a 12. Yes.
I mean, you can tell that he was in good health, at least up until he died. You've never actually seen that poison before, so you can't really figure anything about that.
Okay. Would you say I'm suspicious about the ring or necklace?
No?
Okay. Because, like, me as a person, I'm, like, suspicious. But, so I'm like, yeah, this seems weird. I was like, he seemed to be in good health before this happened. So, Tarsus seems to be, correct in when she says that he seems to have been, like, targeted or, like, murdered or whatever. Because it's definitely not, like, natural.
And Tarsus says, probably someone he knew to get that close, or a very good assassin.
Mm-hmm. So
I guess I could see if it, I don't know, nature, would that be? I'm just searching for skills here. Could see if it looks like a natural
Like,
rock.
just go through your whole skill list and roll for all of them. Does this do any more
And then I
information?
roll.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that the
Yeah.
necklace and ring are suspicious, and I'd be, or maybe I even asked that. Maybe I'm like, you pointed out this ring and necklace. Does that stand out as suspicious to anyone else?
So then I rolled versus acrobatics, and then animal handling.
Why?
Tarsus looks like she's going to say something, then not, and then she kind of closes her eyes and, well, this ring looks kind of like a standard poison prevention ring. And it's broken, so that seems to be how he died, at least.
Was that the poison was like too strong or whatever, that it like cracked the ring and the ring's attempts to like defend? Interesting.
So now I'm thinking, like, would it be risky if I poke it? Because maybe the poison would, I don't know if it's a contact thing.
Like, do you ask this out loud? Like, are you asking Parse?
Oh,
Sure.
I mean, I might not actually have used the word poke, but do you think it would be risky to try to, like, investigate this more closely by, like, taking the ring and, like, examining it personally? Do you think it might be, like, a contact poison that would be dangerous to the touch, or should I, like, take a closer look here?
Parse, like, is still kind of looking at his stone, and which is starting to fade back to its normal color, and he says, if it's anything like the other poisons in this category that the color showed, then it was contact poison. It just seeped into the skin very quickly, and it's run its course. It should be fine now. It's not going to transmit any lasting poison to you. It was already absorbed.
Okay, poke. I guess I'll take off the ring then, and maybe the necklace as well. Because if the necklace is magic, maybe I can Arcana it now that I have a specific thing to look at. Or since I rolled Arcana earlier, would that be redundant?
Yeah, you can roll Arcana on it now that you've kind of like seen it specifically, and now you're kind of like researching more into it.
Yeah. So I do Mystic finger movements over the necklace.
Ooh.
But did you take the ring off?
Yeah, I did take the ring off
Yeah.
also.
So you just kind of like have to, I don't know, shift it back and forth a bit to pull it off. Skin flakes under it. You're pulling this
I'm
off of a
regretting
dead
this.
body.
I wanted to investigate it. I'll put it back when I'm done.
Ew.
I regret this.
I'm just telling you the consequences of your actions.
But I guess I'll Arcana. I rolled very badly. I rolled a 2, which modified makes, that makes a 7.
I mean,
You
you're
You
pretty
can tell it's magical,
yeah.
right?
You're pretty sure it's magical. You can't quite remember where you might have seen that design before. You're not sure what it does.
Yeah, this is a magic thing. Definitely. It does stuff. Magic stuff.
Like, you remember pouring through books of like diagrams of different amulets and how they're structured for the magic. But you
for the
can't...
life of you can't remember actually anything in the text.
Yeah, I mean...
I'm like, I know I read about this, and then... Oh, yeah, then there was this cute squire, and I sort of put the book back down and tried
What
to...
were we talking about again?
He was really nice. Wait, what?
You'd often take your books to read outside, which meant that you didn't quite get as much studying in as you were intending, but at least the view was nice.
In more ways than one.
Wink.
All right. It looks like Tarsus is getting a little impatient again.
Yeah.
Just kind of like...
Yeah.
I think we've kind of done as much as we can for now.
Yeah, so I'd say, does anybody else want to look at this ring, or should I put it back on the dead body?
I'll look at it because I'm like, can't resist.
I hand it over to you really, really gingerly and with a look of some disgust.
And I'm like, I don't think I like really do anything with it. I can persuade it to be not the ring.
Persuade this whole situation to become somehow legal.
I mean, I don't know. Could you religion at it?
We know it's just like a standard poison resist, right?
Yeah. I guess you could religion at the other stuff around and see if anything looks religious.
Sure.
I suggest.
Why not?
I suggest in slightly different words. Like, hey, why don't you use your great theological knowledge about things like the squiggle god to see if anything...
The squiggle god, I forgot about that one.
That was just earlier tonight.
I rolled an 11.
Sure. You see, like, there are some repeating patterns embroidered on the man's clothes, and you do notice that there's a symbol, like, for Gardagar on there.
Oh, interesting.
Which one's Gardagar?
Nature
That's the
god.
same one I believe in, or follow, or am paladin-y for.
Oh.
Yeah, so that intrigues me.
It would be sad if you didn't recognize that then.
Well, I mean, she's been trying not to look at the body, so...
Yeah.
And I'm like, interesting. Maybe I even say that out loud. I'm like, what was this man's profession? I see that he has these symbols on his wardrobe. I asked Tarsus, I'm like, would you happen to know? I'm just kind of curious.
She's kind of like at the door by now. She kind of looks back and doesn't really answer you.
Okay.
She kind of like turns back to the door and starts like opening it a crack and peering out.
I'm like, okay, it's time to go. I can ask about this later. Do we put the ring
trustworthy.
back?
Yeah, are you
Please,
taking anything from this dead man?
I really think we should put the ring back.
Okay, I put the ring back. I definitely would.
Okay,
So
so
since I'm currently in possession of it, I put it back.
And I was saying we should do that.
You like take hold of this guy's hand, which is all like white and flaky, and you kind of like shove the ring back on about as fast as you can, and it flakes a little more. It's not a very pleasant feeling either.
No,
that's not how skin should feel.
Mm-mm.
I mean, I may be chaotic, but I'm not in favor of taking things from dead bodies permanently.
Are you taking the necklace?
No!
Me as a person wants you to, but me as a character is like, no, we should put it back.
What does Bly think about all this?
Bly, persuade him to take it.
If I take it.
Ah, sweet, yes.
Or should I convince?
I mean, I have been saying, this is such a pretty necklace. It's too bad I can't take it with me because that would be wrong. I really wish I could, though.
Can I do like a sleight of hand and take the necklace and then hand it to Ben?
Yeah, roll a sleight of hand check.
Wait, why? Isn't Ben holding it?
No, it's still. I thought it was still around the neck of the body, and like Tlawin was just kind of looking at it.
That's sort of what I was picturing
Oh,
it. Like, I mean, I like lifted it up.
Oh, okay. I thought you had actually taken it off to examine it. Okay.
I got 17.
Okay, so yeah, you managed to unclasp it fairly easily, no snags or anything. And do you just, I don't know, like slip it into Tlawin's pocket or something? Or what are you trying to do here?
You can keep it for yourself.
No, I'll put it on him.
Like, on my neck?
Okay. So
surprise here.
Tlawin, I would say, would roll perception with the advantage, because something is actually going around your neck.
Oh. So I roll twice and take the best one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I did roll a 16.
But Bly rolled a 17, right?
Yeah.
So you don't notice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like, you're like, oh, that's weird. Like, mosquito.
Oh, hey, my neck feels really heavy all of a sudden. It's nothing.
It's just been a long day.
It's just
Okay.
fatigue.
Probably time to start heading out.
So Tarsus
we
kind
all-
of like finds an opening and like opens the door and like motions you to leave.
Okay.
Do we need a stealth or do we just...
Nah, she waited until the coast was clear.
Okay.
So, yeah, once everyone's out, she closes the door behind you, and she just kind of like moseys along back towards the entrance, because, you know, now you're not by the locked room anymore.
Yeah, we can pretend to just be ye old normal people doing the normal thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll go back to strumming my dirge.
Tarsus immediately whips around and like clamps her hand over the strings again. It's just like, no.
She's like, no. She's like, please, the one thing.
I'll just sing instead. Sad, sad, sad. We are sad. Someone's dead, so we are sad.
She glares at you but keeps walking.
And I'm like, should we rendezvous back at do we round it back at?
Wait, wasn't I supposed to go to like a magic university or something?
To Pars's place, I say.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you exit, some of the attendants look at you a little oddly, Tlawin, who's singing, but you exit without issue, and it's starting to get towards evening. So you're wanting to head back to Pars's place?
That's where everyone else wants to go.
Yeah, well, I'm like, hey, by the way, helpful, nice, friendly people who we implicitly trust, do you know where I would find the magic university that I'm trying to get to?
I also feel like he's a civilian, so I feel obligated to escort him back. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just asking them if they know stuff about where to find university.
That's a good character detail, Anna.
Oh, yay.
Yay!
Wanting to escort a civilian back. I like that.
Yay. Yeah, I don't want to just like ditch him, especially since he's this guy who's been like, I haven't left my house in like 62 days.
Yeah, I mean, you're starting to get the feeling that his paranoia is really just kind of more paranoia, and it's just he's this old man who stays locked up in his house with his plants.
Oh.
And
I figure he hasn't like fully chewed over what his stone saw either, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is still a little like dazed about breaking into somewhere.
Right.
And so you all kind of head in that direction, I guess. I guess I'll say that, you get back to his house without incident.
Yay. Should I make more potato tea? Yay or nay?
Okay. So do either of the two have anything to say about when I ask if they know about, where I would find the magic university that I am looking for?
Yeah, Pars is still a little dazed, but he grabs onto your question as something he can focus on. Well, there's Shinrea, which is the institute for higher learning for wizards, but what kind of magic are you studying?
Well, more like music magic, but I was looking for one that was supposed to have more general arcana stuff, so I could learn about other types of magic as well.
Well, I'm not completely sure. I went to Shinrea myself. Someone there might know about a bard school?
Okay, that will be a place to start, I guess. Maybe not tonight, since it's... Can we sleep at your place?
Yeah, we don't have a bed.
Well, I don't really have extra guest beds, and Tarsus, who's
on the floor.
Tarsus, who's kind of come along, not really talking, mostly kind of brooding. She says, well, I know a few places around if you want to find somewhere to sleep. And, look, I should probably give you a little something to make up for the earlier misunderstandings we had today. So, she gives you a bag of gold, and there's like...
I'm like, this is more gold than I've ever seen in my whole...
There's like 30 gold in there.
I've probably seen more gold.
So 30 total.
30 total.
So we each can add 10 to our GP.
Yeah.
Well, who does she give it to?
She just holds it out, so I guess whoever grabs it first.
Roll initiative! I rolled a 7.
Are we really doing this? I don't.
If your character would grab for it, then yeah, you can.
I would. I don't really care.
Oh.
Between you, well, because I was thinking like maybe Bly would want just all of it. So would she share?
Yeah, ready for it, Ben.
So Bly, did you grab?
Yeah. Oh, I rolled in that one.
Oh.
there was a pause. It was like I rolled a nat 1.
I'm so disappointed.
I guess I have it.
Man.
Let's split this 3 ways. Or no, let's split it 4 ways. The rosemary plant should have some. I'll take the rosemary plant's share.
And
no,
Tarsus,
we can split it.
Tarsus is saying, if you need somewhere to sleep for tonight, I can show you to an inn around here.
And no, actually, we can split it 3 actual ways, so 10 gold each.
I thought you were actually gonna give the rosemary plant some, and I would have been like, okay.
My character was actually joking.
Okay, good. Good. And I'm like, cool, thanks.
Yeah, and he also says, by the way, Parse, if I teach your plants to do that rustle and rhythm thing, can I have one?
He's like, but my plants.
Well, maybe if you bring me a plant to enchant. I'm afraid I've rather bonded with the ones that I already have, and it wouldn't feel right to just give one to you. But if you bring me another plant to enchant, I could do that.
Okay, I'll have to
It'd
find
be
a plant.
hilarious if Ben is like, poison ivy. This is my new friend.
He likes hugs.
Warm hugs.
And this is his other friend, Mr. Nettles.
Oak. Although that might also be cool. You could be like, go forth, my minion, poison ivy and oak.
And Nettles.
And I'd be like, can you enchant a potato?
He looks a little dubious, just kind of like, I'm not exactly sure what it would use to move around.
And I'm like, oh, it doesn't need to move.
You just want, like, an aware potato to bite into, like, to eat.
Wait, what is
Can't breathe.
I'm just imagining her, like, I don't know, with this satisfied grin as she roasts that potato.
So, are we like, yo, want us to check in on you tomorrow, Pars? Except without the yo.
He nods a bit. He nods a bit and just kind of is like, that might be nice. Might give me time to just kind of figure out what all has happened. This has been more eventful than the last few months.
The last, like... Do we just want to go to an inn, like Tarsus suggested?
How much do these inns cost?
Exactly 30 gold.
That's what you get for swiping it from me.
Well, Tarsus kind of shrugs and says, well, around here they're not too bad. I can show you to one. I've heard decent things about it. And honestly, I wasn't really planning on keeping track of, like, living expenses, like food and stuff.
I mean, hopefully if I get at a university, that might deal with like room and board for me.
And I'll just mooch off of you.
Yeah, I'll give you meal swipes.
Just like we did at school.
Yeah, I mean the cards are enchanted. You stick them in the enchantment slot, and it unlocks the enchantment door. Yeah.
And everyone will like be like, "What's this fully armored paladin doing?" And then that's all.
But I'll just tell them that you're a hero, and since it'll be a bard school, I'll be like, ooh, let's sing songs about her.
Oh no, I don't know if I want this experience after all.
I feel like the money that you have, rather than like kind of micromanaging, about whether you have enough to eat or sleep for the night or something, it's going to be more about buying equipment when you need it and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
okie dokie.
Tarsus kind of like points you to the inn that she was talking about. You can see like it's combination bar with like a few rooms on the second floor called...
We're like, Bly, what do you think? After Emily finishes explaining.
Yeah, it's called the Black Sheep Bar, and it's not in like the best part of town, but it's also not like doesn't make you feel worried or anything where you are. It looks fairly welcoming and homey.
I mean, I probably wouldn't worry no matter what, to be honest.
Laura, do you think it looks like a thing we can trust with our heads?
I think so. I'll protect you guys.
Yes.
Wait, but I thought you hated us. Are we
I want
best
her
friends
over
now?
with the tea.
I mean, I tell you guys that I'll protect you, but in reality, I might just
She'll
need
stab us.
Yeah, I haven't quite decided
End
yet.
of campaign.
She's just sticking around for the tea for now. And also
True.
possibly to see Tarsus again, 'cause you seem to enjoy Tarsus's company.
Now we're friends. I also want to see what happens with that necklace around his neck.
Let you head in, and you see at the bar fairly large and bulky orc, actually, with like the green skin and tusks common to orcs, shoulder length brown hair, which is undercut on one side, and she looks at you and welcomes you in. It's fairly quiet right now, though there's a few other patrons in there.
Can has room.
Yeah. You're all fairly tired for the night. It's been a long day, especially for Skara and Tlawin. Like, this was just like their first day in.
This is our first day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They came into the city. They immediately broke into someone's house, then they broke into a dead person's house, and then they're pretty tired out after their journey and all that.
I still haven't gotten to what I was supposed to.
You can do
Me
that
neither.
tomorrow.
Wasn't I supposed to go to like paladin school or whatever?
You both got distracted. So you don't pay too much attention to the other people in there. You just kind of get some rooms and go up to them. As you drift asleep, Bly, a dream or perhaps a memory. It's misty this early in the morning on the pier by the sea. Gulls wheel in the air above, and to your right sits a young dwarf, his eyes clear and alive. An impressive chestnut sideburns frame his sandy brown face, and his feet dangle over the edge of the pier. And he says, "This is just what I needed. Fresh air, the sea. I never want to be cooped up in a dusty old house as a dusty old servant, whatever my father thinks. It's just Tobin by the sea and reminds you of happier things.
Oh.
Well, we can end it there. Seems like a good stopping point. You're all kind of like drifting off to sleep, which is what we'll be doing soon.
Yeah. Did I notice the necklace at this point when I got ready for bed?
Make another perception check.
Okay. That was not very... Oh, well, that was a good roll. I rolled an 18.
Aye.
Okay, you do kind of like look down. It's like, what is this?
Do I recognize it?
Probably. I mean, you were staring at it for quite a while.
Yeah. Is it a creepy magic stalker necklace? Is it following me? That would be really cool.
Do you take it off or just leave it on?
I guess I take it off.
Okay. Okay.
But
so,
I like leave it nearby.
So I guess that will conclude our episode for today. I thought that went really well. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was fun. Tla, 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 tla.
Bzz, 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 bzz. Bzz.
Yo, we're mixed nerds, and we're here to say
Bzz, bzz.
good day.
Bzz, bzz.
Perfect.
Good day.
And then everyone's like, should say something that's not good day, just like totally random. So like,
Turnip sock.
Like, pineapples are good.
yeah,
Oh.
perfect. Excellent. We could just have Tig purring. As
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.